Hello and welcome. I am Kimberly K. LaBoo. I am CEO and founder of LaBoo Publishing Enterprise. Welcome to the special Anthology Edition of the LPE Author Chat series. So today begins a series of interviews with the authors of the upcoming release, Set Apart and Chosen. God uses ordinary women to do extraordinary things. So today we have with us Dr. Tasheka Green, servant leader, educator, inspirational speaker, transformational coach, six-time author, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and talk show host. She is the founder and president of and chief executive officer of To Everything There Is a Season Incorporated. Her innovative coaching techniques influence personal, professional development, and organizational change. She leads with a focus to support individuals and organizations in identifying their purpose. Dr. Green's work has garnered her a feature in the Harvard University School of Education, Harvard X course, Introduction to DataWise, a collaborative process to improve learning and teaching. Welcome, Dr. Tasheka Green. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me today. And I'm excited to be the first co-author to be interviewed today. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's an honor to have you. I know you through your chapter.
Yes.
So this is great. So yeah, I'm really honored to have you here. So you are one of 20 women that are in the upcoming release, Set Apart and Chosen, which is set to be released on March the 4th. And your amazing chapter title in the book is called Submit to the Choosing. I love that. Submit to the Choosing. So without giving everything away, tell us why you chose that title.
Well, I chose that title specifically because when I was asked by a dear friend of ours, Lisa M. Jones, to participate in this project, it was during a time when I was actually downsized from my job. And so with that being said, when I was downsized from my job, I had went through a season. I wouldn't necessarily call it isolation. I would call it that I had to just separate myself from some things so I could clearly discern the voice of God and not hear any other noises in my ear at that time. And so with that being said, when I was in that time of just, really fasting and praying and listening to the voice of God, God really dealt with me about being called and being chosen. Wow. And so what I had realized is that through the work that I do, so by trade and profession, I'm an educator. So I love to teach children, adults, parents, systemic leaders, principals, everybody, you name it. I love to teach and educate. And so with that being said, I had to understand that I was called to teach, but where I was not what I was chosen to do. It was only what I needed to prepare me to the next phase in my life. And so with that being said, that quickly helped me to understand where I was in the process and where I needed to go. And so that's why it was called Submit to the Choosing, because I had committed to the calling. I've been a teacher and educator, I would even say since I was 5, because when I was a little girl, I would put like the little stuffed animals around the table and play school. So I was called to teach for a long time, but that was not the place that I was chosen to have my final, destination. And so I needed to understand that I needed to continue and move towards the promise of God. So that's why the title was called Submitting to the Choosing.
Wow, that is awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, so along those lines, when I was reading your chapter, one of the things that stuck out for me was you said I was committed to the calling of being a transformational servant leader by educating, serving, helping, and loving others to greatness. So where does that come from, though? So was it something you saw? Was it something you experienced? Because that's a big call.
It is a very big call. And so I love, Kimberly, how you said how God uses ordinary women to do extraordinary things. And so with that, what you just said, actually in 2010, and I make these connections all the time so people can understand the why a lot behind what I do. So in 2010, I lost my mother to stage 4 stomach cancer. She was 53 years old. She was diagnosed in February. I had never seen her sick, didn't see any type of symptoms that were evident to note that it was stage 4 stomach cancer. And then 30 days later, she had passed away at 53. So with that being said, when she had passed away, she knew that her transition was ready to begin, and it started on a Friday evening. So she said, call everybody that I know, tell them to come to the hospital. I want to tell them something. And so with that being said, we called everybody that she knew. And even the oncology ward said, we've never seen these many people before on the oncology ward. Your mother must have really touched a lot of people. And I said, she really did. And so she called people in one by one, had a conversation, and she really preached a message of forgiveness and love and what life really is about. And then after everybody had started to go through, she stopped them, and then she called me into the room. And so when she called me into the room, we started to have this conversation, and it went a little like, why me? And I said, well, why not you? And told her how precious she was to God. And then she said, did I do a good job? And I said, what do you mean, did you do a good job? And she was talking about raising you. And I said, no, you did a great job. And then she said, she was like, I was here and I loved people. I served, I helped, but I can't continue that work. So I'm literally passing that mantle on to you so that you can continue to serve, so you continue to help, so you continue to love and be a resource to others. And so that shifted my whole perspective about leadership. It shifted my perspective about, just the work that I did, why I was here, and things of that nature. So no longer do I function as a leader. I function as a transformational servant leader, because my purpose is to really push people with an urgency to fulfill their purpose, because of what I saw happen with my mom. And so I even tell people that if it wasn't for my mom's death, I really think that I still would have been ordinary. And I believe that pushed me to be extraordinary. I had no books, I had no business, I had nothing prior to that. And then after my mom passed away, I started a foundation. I started the business. I started what's called the Women of Virtue Walking in Excellence Award that I give in honor of her. I started scholarships that I give in honor to other students. And now as I can, speak, that I'm a full-time entrepreneur in the business called To Everything There's a Season. So that's where that came from. And that really pushed me from being ordinary Tasheka to extraordinary Tasheka.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Thank you.
Lisa M. Jones said you had to be a part of this book. That is beautiful. Talk about walking in purpose, and what a beautiful testimony of the relationship you had with your mom, for her to, be able to pass that mantle on to you, to have you carry out her vision that she first saw. So that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I picked some things out of your chapter, because I said we're giving it all away. They're going to have to buy the book, right?
Yes, buy the book.
One of the other things you said in your chapter that you pointed out, you said, when you are chosen and set apart, you may feel as though you are in an isolated place. Tell me what you meant by that. What does that mean? I can kind of relate to that, but I want to hear your thoughts.
So what that means is your circle of friends is very small. The people that you need in your life to push you to purpose is very small. And I was just speaking about this other day, is that you don't need everybody, you just need the right body. And sometimes it seems like you're alone, but you're not alone, because God is first always with you, but he needs you to be in that isolated space so that you can clearly hear from him. Because I always say that there's so much noise that goes around, but there's a difference between a sound and noise. You don't need a noise. You need to hear the sound, the voice of God, so that you know the direction to go. Because I tell people all the time that the path that I was on, it was Tasheka's plan. It was not God's plan. It was Tasheka plan. And you know how we try to make things happen, or we try to connect and things of that nature. And I understand that God will put these people, strategic people in front of you, but it's the right people and not everybody. And you need to discern that. And you need to know when it's a real opportunity or a false opportunity. And so that isolated state, although it may not feel good at the time, it may not, seem like a place you want to be. Some people fight against it. You need to be there, because you'll still get the the Bible says you'll still get river and waters in the wilderness. And so God will feed you and he will pour into you. He will give you all the things that you need. So once you come out, you are prepared, because what does it say? It said when opportunity and preparation meet, it equals success, and that you're prepared when that opportunity comes so you can walk out what God has you to do and not what you want to do.
Yes, I love it. Yes.
Thank you.
And I can relate to what you're talking about as far as the noisiness, because I've often told people since I moved here to Hawaii that I didn't realize how noisy my life was.
Yeah.
God set me on one of the most peaceful islands in the world. You know, and you just don't know it. You know, you just don't know just how much noise is around you until you become conscious of that. And so I can totally relate to that. Man, that's good stuff. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. You touched on it in the beginning when you were talking, but in your chapter, you said in a 10-minute executive meeting, I was informed that 18 years of my career would be coming to an end in 45 days.
Yes.
I don't want you to tell that whole story right now. They're gonna have to get the book to read
the book.
But I just said, man, like, I just can't even imagine. I can't imagine. Some people get a 1-day notice. I mean, I just can't imagine it happening to me at all. And thank God it never has. But what a story and what a testimony you have in here about that. But I picked out 3 things because you dropped so many nuggets in your chapter.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, sound bites, tweetables. I'm like, this. So I picked out 3 of them that I want to share, and you actually just quoted one of them, which was when preparation meets opportunity, it leads to success.
Yes.
You want to tell us what you mean by that a little bit?
Yes, yes. So what you just shared, again, you have to get the book, but what you shared, I have been in education for 18 years. And with that being said, I started out in 2001 as a classroom teacher, worked my way all the way up to being a regional assistant superintendent where I oversaw 6,000 students and almost 1,500, 2,000 employees in a large urban school district. So with that being said, when that 5-minute happened, I said it was almost like career suicide. Like, like I thought 18 years of what I loved to do and longed to do and, and it was passionate about, that it had come to an end. And what do I do next? And so, God had to remind me that these steps are ordered by me. Okay. I ordered these steps. So within the steps being ordered, there were some things that took place with where you were for the past 4 years that you needed to get you to the next step. And so when I started to look at the past 4 years in which I had served as a leader in that school district, I had received so much knowledge, more, I would say, around the work that I did, that it made me a better, not leader, but a better person. And then a better coach, and then a better helper, and better servant, and ultimately a better leader. And that I had to maximize what I had learned and now use that to continue the walk that God had me on. And so that's why I said when preparation meets opportunity, because a door closed, but there were so many doors that opened up for me after that. And I tell people all the time, if you knew my story, you will understand my joy, because what looked like an obstacle became an opportunity. And I had to leverage that and walk in all the preparation God had given me during that isolated state, all the direction that he had gave me, the strategic right bodies that he had placed in front of me, and take that now and walk in a direction of what now I'm, like I said, a full entrepreneur. So I am a full-time entrepreneur now. I am the chief education strategy consultant in my own business, getting tons of contracts through school district organizations, nonprofits to do great work. And I'm so excited. I tell people I'm at a place of what I think is just peace and freedom, because there were so many other things that I had started to push aside and were lacking in my life. and it was really causing some problems. And so, you know, now I have time, you know, for my family, and have time to, you know, I go back to Bible study every Wednesday night, choir rehearsal on Monday, pray on Friday, you name it, you know, can do things like write and participate in a book, be a co-author, you know, go out and speak more. So it's just a good place to be. And, you know, the first five, like I said, that 5 minutes, of course, you're like, wow, this is happening. This is, I cannot believe this is really happening, you know. And also, you know, not to share everything in the book, but I said the one thing I feared happened to me. And I feared losing my job, and it happened to me. And it also lets you know, wherever your mind goes is where your energy flows. Why was I even fearing that if I knew God hadn't given me the spirit of fear, but he's given me power, love, and a sound mind? So that also helps to shift the mindset around. Don't let your mind go places where your energy is going to flow, because it's only going to become what you're thinking. And so, you know, it taught me so many different things in this experience of how I needed to align my life back up to the plan of God, and how I, you know, I had to put things back into perspective. And, you know, it did so much for me. But at first, Kimberly, in them 5 minutes, it did not feel good at all.
Know your passion.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Let me give you another tweetable. Let's see. You said let's see. The best opportunities are the ones that you create.
Yes.
I like that one. And then do not miss out on the opportunity because you are so focused on the obstacle.
Yes. Yes.
Love that. Love
Thank
that.
you.
Love that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So is this your first book?
No. So I actually have authored by myself. I've authored four books.
Okay.
My daughter and I, who's 8 years old now, but she was 7 when we co-authored a book called 10 Purposeful Tips for a Successful School Year. And then she authored her own book, in which I published the children's book, I Am a Cutie. And then I did do one collaboration with, her name is Dr. Chantel Tisdale, and she has Metro Phenomenal Woman. So I did that. So this year, currently this year, I have actually 3 collaborative projects.
Wow.
2 as a co-author and 1 as myself as a visionary author. All of my books really focus on basically inspirational books, purposeful books, you know, affirmation, things of that nature. But the one that I am the visionary work this year and have 6 co-authors joining me that will be coming out in May is my first education book. So I never did an education book. And even in the midst of all of this, when I went to one of my oral presentations for one of my proposals, when I walked out the room, God said, it's time. You have your service, and now you need your product. And God had already gave me this vision about this book 2 years ago, but go back to, it was my plan and not the plan that God had intended. And so I had to go and revamp everything all over again and start fresh. And I'm happy to say that's going to come out on May 18th, in May. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's a total of 9 books now.
Now it's like once you get bit by the book bug, you just keep keep going. Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what the writing process looks like for you? Because you obviously write a lot. Is there a special place that you go? Is the music playing? Is it in quiet? What does the writing process look like for you?
You know what the writing process is for me? It's in my night season.
Okay.
It's in my night season, both literally and figuratively. So a lot of the work that I did was in a season where, you know, I had more questions than answers. And to get through that, I started to write. Like I always started to write. And then when I finished writing, it was always like, this can help somebody else. Kimberly, I have never said I wanted to be an author. I never said I wanted to be a bestseller. I never said any of those things. And so, you know, with that being said, it was just, like I said, during my night season, I would just write. And when I say literally during the night season, God will wake me up at night and say, write. So I have a pad beside me. I have a tablet. I have something, you know, in the car. But it's during those quiet, again, going back to those quiet times when it's just me and God, and he just speaks to me and he just reveals, because when it was time to write the chapter, I was like, I don't know what to write. What am I going to write? And then it was at night, God woke me up and everything just started to flow. And so it's during those times. And like, you know, when I can't write, I usually capture it. What I like to tell a lot of people is through voice recording. So I could voice record so I don't miss that thought. and then email it to me or something and go back and, do some edits and things like that. But it's during my night seasons, both literally and figuratively.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. So you obviously like the anthology process. Because like you said, I think you said your second one, and then you are actually the visionary for one.
Yeah.
What is it that you think is beneficial about being a part of an anthology or project?
One, I think, is really to collaborate and meet so many like-minded people. It was awesome, just the whole process of one, you just kept us so informed of everything. You were on top of everything, and you kept us, motivated about the work, and, you could do it. And after we finished our chapters, you gave us these words of inspiration. So it was the whole camaraderie and also the collaboration around everyone, meeting new people. And I cannot wait to hear the other interviews and also read the chapters, the launch on the 24th. I'm just super excited to meet everyone. And it builds new networks and relationships that are everlasting. I always say when purpose connects with purpose, it produces powerful connections.
Wow. Yeah. So what advice would you give to someone who is thinking about either writing a book, being a part of an anthology, anything about the writing process? What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out, who's never written before, and they're thinking about doing so?
One thing I would say is to dismiss fear, say goodbye to, worry. Don't worry about the resources. Everything, and this is a true testimony, everything that I have done was funded by faith. I did not know where nothing was coming from. All I know, if God said it, his word's not going to return back to him void. And so he's going to give you every provision for the vision, and he's going to give you every resource because he is the source. And so with that being said, just do it. Just do it. Just act in your faith and just do it, because we know faith without works is dead. If you want to write, one thing you have to do is start writing. And so, many times I meet people and they said, I want to write. And I'm like, well, have you started writing? Well, no, but I have it all in my head. Well, get it on paper. And don't say, I don't have enough time or I don't have time. Like I said, voice record, while you're in the car or while you're sitting there, voice record, get, like OneNote or your notes and things like that, and then email it to yourself. But start somewhere, because you have to act, because if you don't act, it's just going to lie dormant and you're going to never get it out. And so you need to act upon it and write. And then also, like I said, connect with the right people and the right resources that you need to help you to get your work done. And do it with, integrity and character and excellence. So many people want to write, but, they're not connecting with the right people. And also, I would say this, make sure you have a why and a purpose of why you're doing it. That you want others to be inspired. You want others to be encouraged. You want others to be set free, whatever it is. Yes, we all understand that also having a book is a product and a marketing, but also you got to understand, do you want to be important or do you want to be impactful? And so it's really about the impact and the influence and the inspiration that you'll give to others.
I tell you, you just a tweet a moment. I'm still stuck on Funded by Faith. I love that.
Yes, and Funded by Faith, actually, I have to give credit to her. Name is Unique Walker, and she does a lot of work too. She hasn't written a book yet, but she's an entrepreneur, and she always say Funded by Faith, and I always like to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, Funded by Faith. So the next time somebody tell me what they can't do,
you say you're funded by faith. Exactly.
Come on, let's do this.
Exactly.
That is awesome. I love that. So last but not least, tell people where they can find you, where they can connect with you, and of course your link to be able to pre-order the book, because of course we are in the pre-order campaign.
Yes.
So you can go ahead and give them your link that they, those are there that are out there that are supporting you can go to your link and purchase the book from you.
Yes, sounds good. So my website is www.2 and the word seasons with an S.com. You can find more information about me there, as well as the link to the book. So please pre-order the book, purchase the book. It is $19.99. It was shipping and handling $4. So let's do that now. And those sales end on February 28th. And so we're excited about that. And do we have a few more tickets still left for the book launch, Kimberly?
We do have tickets left for the book launch. It's on March the 24th at the live loft in the grand ballroom. So I'm sure, I think you have the flyer up. I know we have, the links are everywhere.
Yes, they're everywhere.
Some tickets left, but people have been purchasing, so several tickets got purchased today. So
Great.
I have to go back in and look at the count to see where we are now. It's last I looked, I think we were at 147.
Oh,
and
yes.
people have purchased since then. So it's going to be phenomenal.
It is going to be phenomenal. You don't want to miss it. Listen, you have to be there. So get your ticket, because it is going to be sold out, and you're going to be like, oh, I wish I was there.
Because believe me, we are going to be posting and live streaming and doing all kinds of stuff. And we have His Favorite Magazine as our media sponsor for the event. We also have War Paint Productions that's there covering the photography, which is my son's company. And so I'm just so elated. I'm taking this 13-hour flight.
Yes.
To come in, because I am so excited to be able to meet the phenomenal women in this project, and for us all to be able to come together. And then not only that, to be able to inspire and empower the women who, or anybody that comes to join us on that evening. So yeah, it's not just about us, the authors. Of course, we're going to be selling books and autographing books and things like that, but it's just so much bigger than that at this point. I say this thing had wings. Like, God took this and just went far beyond what I had even imagined for it. So I'm just so grateful and happy about it. So,
and you're right, because that's what you call the exceeding and abundant, but you ask or think, okay? That really, like, even when you had brought us in some of the conversations, I was like, wow, this is so amazing. Like, I didn't even think it. I was just like writing the chapter and moving forward.
Exactly.
But you have done some great things, and so thank you so much. And congratulations to you, and continue to do the great work that you're doing for so many. Thank you.
And it didn't start as that, but I think it was fueled by the people that are in the group, the people that are a part of this project. You guys called me higher, really. Like, it was just, you guys have been so fantastic that it just made me want to do more for you. More with this project, more with the event. And so, like I said, it just God ordained, clearly, this project, from the start of the title, him waking me up at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, dropping that title in my spirit, to where we are now with it about to launch. I am just so excited. I stay excited.
I know, and I'm excited with you. I can't wait to meet you and everybody else. Yes.
Get excited, stay excited, right?
Yes.
But thank you so much for taking the time out to join us this evening to talk about the chapter in the book. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get to Maryland and meet you next month. It's going to be great. So do you have any last thoughts that you want to leave with our viewers?
No, this is what I always tell everyone. Listen, if God woke you up this morning, you have purpose in you. So just show up and let God do the rest. And if you're still here, go and live a purposeful life.
Amen. Amen. So thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you, Kimberly.
You're welcome. To our viewing audience, thank you guys so much. Hang in there for 1 second, Tasheka. But thank you guys so much for hanging in there with us and joining us for another episode of the LPE Author Chat series. Join me tomorrow, as I'm going to be on the flip side being interviewed by His Favorite Magazine.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm so excited about that. I'm like, other side of the camera, not asking me. But I'm looking forward to that tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. same time, and it'll show up on my channel. Please connect with His Favorite Magazine here on Facebook, because we'll be streaming from there as well. As always, guys, you know where to find me, www.LaBooPublishing.com. Make sure, if you are supporting Dr. Tasheka Green, you go to her website. You want to give it one more time?
Yes, it's www.seasonswithans.com.
Awesome. So thank you guys again for joining us, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then the rest of the week, we have amazing authors, more amazing authors from Set Apart and Chosen. So just stay tuned, set your notifications so that you get the little buzz when we come on live. Take care. Be blessed, guys.
Thank you. Be blessed, everyone. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.